So how do I stay connected to my peace from day to day? And I have a list much longer than 7 for you. Okay. I'm going to go through this list, okay? And these are in no particular order, but the first one I came up with was laughing at yourself. What a lot of us in here are trying to heal, and why peace is so hard for us to do, to know, to be, is because our nervous systems were activated on all during our development, which informed this system, this mind and this body, to be like a tight rubber band. And so that tight rubber bandness in us hears me say, yes, let's be more peaceful. And it's like, okay, how do I do that? I'm a tight rubber band. And so what we're trying to do is change our tight rubber bandness. Okay. And when we are in laughter, when we are in humor with ourselves, we cannot be in fight or flight at the same time. So laughter is a way to start guiding our nervous system as we start to feel that tension, that tight rubber bandness, to start going, no, wait, look at my tight rubber band starting to get a little tense. I don't need to do that. Oh, that's something I've been doing a long time. Oh, that perfectionist or that stressor in me. Wow, she knows how to tighten that rubber band. And yeah, we're not going to keep doing it like that. And it's going to be hard on her because that's what she knows how to do. So just kind of, a lot of us had like mean laughter. I grew up with some of that, like mean teasing. That's not what I'm talking about. And if we're trying to heal the critical voice, sometimes that can be a little tricky. So absent of all criticalness, laughing at ourselves. Because at the end of the day, when we get out of the seriousness of our trauma, it's almost funny if we can just let it be. When I look back at my life, the times that I was having a panic attack or crying at work or feeling like the end of the world was going to come, that I was just going to screw something up so badly, the end of the world was going to come, and it didn't, over and over again. And even when I had consequences because of my behavior or my choices or just life throwing some consequences my way, I've always figured it out. I didn't like it, but I've always figured it out. Okay, so we start to laugh at ourselves. All right, the second one. Breathe. Breathe. And that sounds overly simplified to bring in more peace, but again, we're working at the level of the nervous system. So we want to take in breathing. So all throughout my day, if I feel that tight rubber band sensation, I say to myself, Nikki, stop, take a breath. And it's not take a breath up here. Not that shallow, hypervigilant, I'm about to run or fight off a tiger. Breath. The breath that goes into the belly deeply. Do it with me now. That's the breath like a little baby breathes. Any of you who've had babies or toddlers around or spent time with them, they have that little fat belly, right? That little round belly, like that little Buddha belly. And they don't suck it in. They just let it hang. And when they breathe, that whole little belly moves. And we want to go back to that. Life and our stressors taught us to breathe up here and to stay up here. And we can let those little babies be gurus. And we can breathe like those little babies with their Buddha bellies. Because when we're breathing that way, we're telling the system through our breath, hey, things are safe. There is no tiger. There is no human that's about to attack me. There's no threat here. The breath is the bridge between the mind and the body. So when I'm having a hard time with my thoughts racing, I can go into the behavior. It's a behavior to breathe. And from that depth of breath, I will find better language from oxygenating my thinker up here instead of that shallow fight or flight breath. Okay. 3, self-forgiveness. One of the things Suzanne asked was, how do you let go of guilt for not being more peaceful in the past? Well, you forgive yourself. Because you were doing the best that you knew how to do. And sometimes the best that we know how to do is not up to our standards, not in the moment and not later. And I don't know about you, but I've had to accept, like, hey, newsflash, it's not always going to go to your expectations. It's not always going to be ideal. So letting go. Melody Beattie's Codependency 365 planner that many of you who follow my work have, because you tell me you got it because I tell you to get it. It's one of the best books. I don't have it right in front of me, but it is the language of letting go. And that is a message of letting go every day, because life increasingly is asking us to pick up everything, things that don't even have anything to do with our own life. And as compassionate people with big hearts, we need healthy detachment and healthy letting go more than ever. Why? Because whether we like it or not, whether we're blocking media or not at this point, it tends to get through. We are aware of every tragedy over the entire face of the earth. And we are largely powerless to do anything about it other than pray or donate a little bit. What else can we do? We could volunteer in our communities, but other than those things, we can't really do much about the atrocities of the world. And so we need to let go and detach more than ever because we have so much more awareness. This is old hardware. What an ask to let my mind be flooded with every shooting, every murder, every death, every earthquake, every racial injustice, like it just everything awful. And then go, God, why aren't you being peaceful? That's what's wrong with me that I can't feel more peace. So we really need to be really fair with ourselves and reasonable. That if we're going to get peace, we have to cultivate it. We have to take it. We have to give ourselves permission to practice it, to be with it.